What's up, guys? Alright, welcome to the channel. If you haven't watched this before, I cover all kinds of stuff, and I do a little investigating on things here and there when it comes to thrift stores, ham radios, used equipment, stereos, trends, and things like that, 3D printers. Today we're going to be talking about Goodwill, and one of the things that I learned about Goodwill a long time ago is that they are a non-profit, and they are designated as a non-profit, but they pay their CEOs and district managers a very handsome sum of money to basically crack the whip on their workers and really get as much productivity out of your donated charitable goods as possible. And basically what they have is a really successful model to extract as much wealth and money as possible from the public by the perception that they are a non-profit giving back to the community. And I can point out a bunch of areas where that's just absolutely not true, but that's not really what we're going to cover here. What I wanted to cover here was about the video games and things like that that used to be really common to find at some of the stores in Arizona, and you can't find them anymore, and I think they have quietly switched over and they're selling them online now, and as a lot of other things, and you're just not going to find these high dollar boutique items or whatever they want to call them in the stores anymore. So if we look here on this page here, just Google searching, does Goodwill sell video games? And it says, yes, Goodwill sells them, but availability heavily depends on the location. Many stores now send donated games to the regional e-commerce sites or specialized electronics outlets rather than keeping them on the local shelves. And then they have the, there's this called Goodwill Anytime video games, including Xbox 360. And we're going to click on that and take a look. And look at this. It looks like a damn fucking video website, and like this company is just absolutely nuts, absolutely freaking nuts. And a lot of these are GameStop prices. And you're likely going to buy a game that's probably not going to play because they don't give a shit if it's scratched or not. So, we got 5 pages of this kind of stuff here. Let's say we wanted the Tony Hawk Pro Skater, or how about, let's look for something like, can we search? Let's go Minecraft, since that's very popular. And guess what? We got, oh, I spelled it wrong. Now, I am not a Minecraft person. I typed in mind. I still don't think it's available, but let's go back up here. Paste. So, we also have a decline in CDs popping up in the store, and as you can see, they are all over the frickin' place on here, and I think you're going to see less and less music and DVDs and other stuff like that because they just want to do this now. So I've told people this before, you know, even though I go to Goodwill and I buy lots of stuff and it's cool, please stop donating to Goodwill. They are not a non-profit. They might be registered as a non-profit, but they're not non-profit. And they are not charitable. For example, the one that I live near in Prescott, there is no career center in Yavapai County. It's closed down. It's over in Prescott. It's closed down. It's done. It's gone. And when you go in the store and they ask you to pay 10 cents for a plastic bag and round the change up for the career center, we don't have a career center. So that money either goes to Phoenix or Flagstaff or somewhere else, but it doesn't go to our community in Yavapai County. Okay? Maybe Cottonwood will get it or something. I don't know if Cottonwood has a career center. But Yavapai County doesn't get anything. And so, it's a bunch of bullshit, really, when you think about it. This is a $1 billion company. I mean, let's look this up. And we can just look this up just for the hell of it. Goodwill net worth. Another thing is, I believe it's broken up into multiple franchises. Goodwill Industries does not have a net worth in the traditional sense, as it is a network of independent, community-based 501c3 nonprofits rather than a for-profit corporation. Collectively, the organization records massive scale, with the parent organization, Goodwill Industries International, reporting a total net assets of roughly $71.5 million, alongside an annual revenues exceeding $8.6 billion. I'm telling you guys, this is not a nonprofit. The information is all on the internet for you to see. An $8.6 billion company is not a nonprofit company. Now, what they're doing is they're playing off your emotions, your heart, and you think, oh, I'm being charitable. Oh, these poor Arizona people. I moved here from California, and I'm gonna give back to the community. Maybe they won't ridicule me for being a Democrat from California moving to Arizona. Well, and that's what you get. And also, a lot of people from California, specifically where I'm at, they come here to die, and they go die like an old dog on the porch, and all their shit ends up at Goodwill. And they do really well here. But this company, and the Yavapai County, this particular franchise, they don't put out the video games no more. They don't put the CDs out anymore. Consoles and stuff like that still pop up. But, if somebody donates like a new Xbox, I don't think it's going to go out on the floor. Jewelry, stuff like that, it doesn't go out on the floor. It just, like, they have to be over inundated with donations before they're going to put this shit out. Because if they don't have a lot of stuff, then they have time to pick through it, and then they have time to look it up on eBay, and also they're not pricing things at a third of retail. They're going, like, they just go look it up. They don't even know if they've looked up the right thing, and they just put whatever price that they think is good enough for their personal garage sale. And, I give the guys a hard time at the store all the time, except for one of them, because he'll probably, get all upset and maybe, do petty weird stuff. The other guy, I give him a hard time. But they are being told to do this crap. They're being treated like slaves, and they're being forced to overprice these things. And also, some of them love to overprice things because, they want to impress the boss. But the boss is the one getting the bonus. They're not getting the bonus. And this company just chews up and spits people out. They take people that are a disadvantaged minority, like convicts and people with disabilities, and they use them and they fucking spit them out. I've watched so many fucking people down on their luck get a job there and just get fucking put through the fucking ringer. Luckily, we have a local store called Stepping Stones, and they sometimes will take some of these people that have worked there and give them a better opportunity. But, by the time that they get there, they're pretty burned out. So, it's sad. And now, I'm not a reseller. I go to the store because I like to find cool stuff. And, it's something that's fun for me to do. Okay? Now, I used to sell quite a bit when I lived in Seattle, but here in Arizona, it's really competitive. And there's a lot of other people down on their luck trying to sell. And it's a very desperate, cutthroat fucking kind of deal. And it's just not worth it. What I try to do is rehome stuff that I don't want anymore. And usually when somebody wants to buy something from me, like example, I sold a stereo recently that I fixed. Made a video on the channel about it. I fixed it. I gave the lady another stereo. It was for her husband. I gave her another stereo. It was a newer Pioneer, like with the Bluetooth and all that. And and it's kind of fun to do that because it really makes somebody's day and it makes them smile. And you're actually doing something for the community. You're giving back instead of being a hoarder. But Goodwill, man, I'm telling you guys, they are bad, bad, bad news. And I want to say that this is just a theory. I don't think they're owned by that company. I think there's a shell of a shell. And I think if we followed the trail of the money, it would lead back to the government or, some elites somewhere. Honestly think maybe even deep state, whatever. But it's nuts that this company could be making $8.6 billion a year on your free donated items, guys. Now, we haven't even gotten into all the other video game stuff. I don't even want to get too far into that because it doesn't really matter. But you're not going to find this stuff anymore. You're going to have to go on their website, Goodwill Anytime. They have numerous sites. Shop Goodwill.com, Goodwill Grid or something. Let me get in here. It's funny it's not letting me out of here. So they have a browser hijacker. I hate websites that do that. Okay, so we have some other site. I don't know if this is affiliated with them. GoodwillBooks.com, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3. Let's click on PS4 and see what we get. And we have Valhalla. Let's see. It's an older game, but not real old. And then they have $9. Let's click add to cart. Full description. Condition. It doesn't even say that I can tell. Anyway, so we go up here to our cart. You'll click check out. It ships from Hillsboro, Oregon, which is probably a Goodwill store. I don't know if we can pull anything up there. We click check out. Alright. I'm just curious. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. Copyright GICW. That's Goodwill International something something. Contact us. All sellers. Let me see here. Contact us. Customer support. Order history. Frequently asked questions. About us. Okay, let's see what it says. At GoodwillBooks.com, the purchase price, who we are, a website that has been made possible thanks to the generous donations from customers to Goodwill partners across the United States. So this is a shell company of a shell company. Goodwill Books offers blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's Goodwill operating under another name, Goodwill Books. Because if somebody else tried to do that, they would probably sue them. So, this company is starting to look like an octopus. Okay, we have Goodwill Anytime, we have Goodwill Books, we have Gaming and Consoles of Greater Washington. Get this here. I've seen this. Okay. I mean, they've like absolutely put their footprint all over the place. Vintage video games found at Goodwill with absurd price tags. Sometimes Goodwill thinks, oh hey, that's a PlayStation 2. Since the PS4 sells for $200, we should sell the PS2 for $100. Great deal. Anyway, it's just a talk about it, but Goodwill Easter Seals. What's this one? So we have even more here. Here's an Atari. I mean, I'm not saying the prices are bad. I haven't even looked into that, but I'm just saying that these things are not in the stores anymore because they're not doing that. Here's the Grid, and this is in North Carolina. Shop the Grid. Okay, powered by Goodwill. here's another thing. Shop the grid, and you need to wear your little black mask when you get on here and do that, okay? And it's really so disgraceful. Humanity has, like, sunk to the lowest of levels. But do we have any dignity left, people? The grid. Yeah. At Goodwill... something. Anyway. I'm not going to sit here and get into this damn thing too much. Let's see what we got here. There's a store. Let's just get out of there. Okay, so you got that. And I mean, there's just... It's an octopus, guys. And they're all like, you know... Here's Goodwill of Akron, Ohio. What's this say? Game Treasure Hunt. Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, Game Boy, Sega. It's sure to be found on Goodwill. Shop Goodwill. Okay, so shopgoodwill.com is like the main one, but it looks like they've changed their page. I'm just telling you, man, they're shiesty. You know, really, really shiesty. Donating to Goodwill. Donor guideline. We need to make sure you know how to donate. So anyway, it is what it is, guys, but I thought you should be informed and you should know. And before you go ahead and donate something that you've paid for with your hard-earned money, thinking that you're helping the community, you need to realize that you are fueling a $71 million company that claims to be nonprofit that posts profits of $8 billion a year. Okay? You need to know this. And I've just showed you on the internet. Anybody could go on here and do what I just did. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And another thing, too, I was going to look and see if we could figure out if there's anything to do with ham radio on Goodwill, but maybe we'll do another video on that. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Be safe and be nice to each other, okay?